Hello. No, you can mow tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. You can get up early when it's nice and cool. Get a good night's sleep, and then you can mow. Tell you what, have a beer about it, and if you still feel like mowing after the beer, then there you go. Yeah, this kit has so many Halloween themed decals, and seeing that the first is next week, I think we're gonna go full on and just go over the top with the Halloween theme. I don't care if it's on the nose, it's machining Krieger. And these are the decals that came in the kit. Hasegawa decals, usually once you hit them with the setting solution, just let it do its thing and they'll work. Curly tweezers. That's better. Now, do I find a place to put the coffins as well? I don't know. It's Friday for the rest of you. It's Wednesday for me. Sorry again if I'm quiet today. Just had a very long day at work. My next day off ain't till Monday. That decal cracked, and that one did too. Oh well. It's fine. It won't be as noticeable once we're done with the chipping. That may not be till tomorrow. I forget what my exact hours are for tomorrow anyway. I think it's like 8 to 4 or something stupid like that. You know what? I'm not even gonna deal with that broken up 3. I've got one more. So they're thinking, why am I messing around with a broken decal? Hasegawa decals are also a tad bit thicker, so you kind of gotta keep at them when you're trying to get them to lay down. You do it enough though, and they'll snuggle down. My legs are killing me. I hurt all over today. I moved a lot of freight at work. Yeah, we're not even going to move that. We're going to hit that with some setting. There we go. Just let it do the work for us. This panel isn't glued on. Just on here for right now so I can do chipping and stuff like that around it once I get to that point. Still a lot more painting to do. Need to get all the joints that you can see painted metallic inside. So here's the shoulder unit. So So these will be staying the camo colors, but everything else is going to get hit with a metallic color and some rust and some other things. Might even use some really fine copper wire to kind of bundle these together in places so they look a bit more organized. Ow. Ow. So is everybody else getting ready to have a good weekend? I forget where I was going to put... Oh yeah, now I remember. Talk about having a senior moment. Hey Nub, we're doing the decals on the Schwarzer Hund variant from Machine & Krieger. And then once we get those on and setting, we'll probably start work on the Nutcracker in 35th scale. Some recent things have got other projects on hold. I wanted to get the new release of the Krotchenvogel. I found a couple on eBay for decent money. Not scalpers prices. And we're going with a very strong Halloween theme on this, you know. How could you resist a pumpkin skull and crossbones? And these decals actually came with the model. Considering October 1st is right around the corner, I'm going to put some slits across the pumpkin a little more to help it lay down, because it just does not want to work too well. Those should be invisible once it's done settling. And then we've also got some screeching cats on the ear flaps. These should snuggle down pretty well over the cast texture I put on it. Other than that, just trying to have a chill day. think I may have overexerted myself at work, so. Ow, 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 ow. I've got a heater going to help keep my joints warm on my, like my knees and my toes and ankles, but still a bit much. Damn it. Anybody else working on anything neat? Feel free to share if you are. Still trying to decide if I want to do the hatch open and have somebody working on it or just make it standalone. Nice. I don't think they're too visible here, but I also went through and added a bunch of weld beads and details. Pictures are up on Instagram for that. Oh, happy birthday. Let's see if we can get this to focus nicely for us for a minute. Get that in the water. Oh, come on. Autofocus work. No? Okay. Never mind. You'll just have to check out Instagram to see the pictures, I guess. Still a lot of brush painting left to do on this. This is basically all the airbrushing and the stippling and things like that done. Which hobby store are you thinking of going to? For anyone that lives in or around Spokane, I know the hobby town there is closing. All their stuff's going on sale. I went there last year. It was a pretty well-stocked store. But I think the owner's just consolidating. He's retiring. Things like that, you know. We had one here, but it shared a parking lot with Starbucks. So most of the time that the people would be coming into the hobby town, they couldn't park because they would be fighting with the people from the Starbucks going through their parking lot. So it closed. I liked them because they were one of the few places you could get Mobius models and things like that at the time, back when the company was still on its own. Okay. So they specialize in like Gundam kits and things like that. Fortunately, we do have a hobby shop here that is open on Sundays, but they're like an hour's drive. And I'm honestly a bit tapped out for big purchases for a short while. And welcome everybody who's watching on Twitch. Just to let you know, we are doing a dual stream. I'm also on YouTube, same name, just spaces in between the words. If you want to check that out, go ahead. I also upload shorts and little updates of everything I work on there too. I should probably take some ibuprofen, to be honest. That way this won't hit me tonight when I'm trying to go to sleep. Yeah, we got another hobby shop that's right around the corner, but they're more strictly RC. They're not bad. They carry some kits. They're good for supplies. So if I need glue or paint really quick. Oh, I think that's going to be the new wave. Like Ertl's getting the old cars back out. MPC around 2, all that. But kids these days don't want it. It's too involved, you know. A little Machine and Krieger trivia. Did you know that Ko Yokoyama also designed a few Zoids models? We have a scammer. One moment. And I want to go take some ibuprofen, so I'm going to pause real quick. All right, we're back. Oh, yeah. Ibuprofen should kick in soon. I mainly just want the muscle inflammation to go away before bed. The pumpkin is setting in quite nicely now. How are the cats doing? I noticed they were having a little trouble conforming. They're starting to melt down. Give these another dose. Q-tips. Gonna roll it across the pumpkin and really steamroller it down. There we go. Perfect. Basically squeezing the air bubbles out, making sure they're really getting down into the rough texture. Helps get any air out from under them too, so when you do your final dull coat, you don't have any silvering. And essentially it's a pocket of air caught under the clear part of the decal. There To be honest, I'm probably going to let this sit till Monday after we do the decals, and I clear coat it. That way, just my brain train just derailed. That way everything can kind of seal up, and I know everything is good and solid, because the next steps are going to be pretty harsh. And where was I going to put these? I had an idea and lost it. Because we're talking oil washes, sponge chipping, scrubbing, all kinds of stuff. I'll go with the dark letter ones. Snuggling down really nice. I'll probably let these dry out most of the way, then hit them up in another hour or so. Might only do a few more decals. I don't want to overdo it, make it look like an F4 Phantom. I don't know if you've ever seen the amount of stencils on a Phantom. Oof. I'm going to pick some different music too. Might sound similar, but it's going to be a different mix. No, I was saying that Ko Yokoyama had done some Zoids designs. Nothing about the 30-minute missions. The guy who designed this thing had also designed some Zoids back in the day. I shall be back in just another moment. Just give me a second. And back. The wife wanted to discuss dinner. I gave the old Al Bundy response. I want some form of dead animal on a plate in front of me. No, I wasn't that rude, but anyway. Thought Allie was chasing Arnie. They're both snuggled up on the couch. He was just moving away from her. He's getting old. What do I mean getting? He is old. I think that's enough decals to make it interesting, but not overpower it. Let's set these parts aside. I still have to paint these too, and these. They might get metallics. And those decals might come in handy on the Heinrich, because I noticed something about it. I don't think the decals for it printed correctly. I might even try one out just to see, but I remember the original Nitto decals not working too well, like they really had trouble coming off the backing. So I might do this scheme, but with the mushroom unit decal. But I wanted to use a different mushroom because, again, these may not work. So, let's do a test of the decal here. Because from what I can tell, it doesn't look like the carrier film printed very evenly. one can I get away with getting rid of? Yeah, I'll do these two. If they work, cool. If they don't, then, like I said, I have spares. It doesn't help that those decals probably date back to the 80s. Coffee cup out of the way. Even though coffee does sound good. I almost want to say the core of the unit is made from a different model. I've used older and had them work fine. I've got a 16 scale model of the General Lee that had original decals from 81, 82 in it. They worked fine. Get those right there. And then there's this big boy. Most of the models are in 1/20th scale. This one's in 35th scale. Because it's just that big. Oh, cool, they're still viable. That's good. Oh, were you in here when I was on my last stream? There is a live-action Machine and Krieger short film out there. This one looks like it's been cleaned up. The audio's really good on it. Right there. I think we'll start working on the Nutcracker, which it didn't come with a super armored fighting suit, unfortunately, but it comes with a Heinrich and a Melusine. So, it comes with 2 suits in scale. We'll work on the main thing for now. Because I have no idea how I'm going to base it so it looks like it's floating. I think I've got some clear acrylic rod. And I could find a way to just attach it here somehow. That's the center of gravity. There is a 1/20th scale garage kit of it. I'm never going to afford it. I shouldn't say that. I have no room for it, and I really don't want to do a resin kit that large that I don't print myself. And I think for this one, because what I might do, I need to see what decal options they have for the suits. Let's look that up real quick. If they gave those cards too, which I don't think they did. No, they didn't. Yep, no camo cards. What about decals? If the suits have matching unit markings, they don't, but I can paint them. Okay. So the Heinrich that I do might actually change, because I want to do this version of the camo. Not to be confused with this version. So I want to do that version. And then have one of the suits painted to match as well. Kind of like a combined unit. So let's get the decals out and see what the first few steps on this bugger are. There's really not a lot of sprues. And to keep Allie off the desk. Allie, got a box. There you go. Oh, there are camel cards. They're part of the box. Okay. Neat. So another reason I'm doing a lot of Machine and Krieger, besides Solway Studios kind of egging me into it, is I've done enough printed figures and enough snap together things and things like that. I needed to get my teeth sunk back into something, you know? I bet everybody's watching the movie. Those who haven't seen it already. It's only like 20 or 30 minutes long, I think, if that. Yeah, 27. Really? I put an entire box on the ground for you. Yeah, I did. What have you got against boxes? What, kitty? Huh? No, you can't be here right now. I'm working on something. If you can stay right there and not be a pain in the ass, then you can stay up here. But I have a feeling you're about to break that, aren't you? Yeah. You make some space so you can lie down. There you go. Yeah, you flip out when my alarm clock goes off and kick it into my head off the nightstand. Oh, Frankie's down here too. Huh? Your brother's down here? So I need to find out what sprues are what. I need the D sprue, D sprue, C sprue. Clear parts for the suits and for the searchlight. Those can go in here. That. Okay. Knock it off with the tail. Not an essential part. Depending on how I'm feeling Monday, probably more of the Schwarzer Hund, or see if I can get the mojo back up for the YF-19 Batroid. I don't know. That one's been really. It hasn't been fighting me. I just can't get into it. Which is a shame because it is a kit that I've been waiting a very long time for. It goes up in here with that facing outward. Okay. And it promptly falls out. Great. And then it says C32, which is the C sprue. This one. Okay, 32. There is a little arrow in there. Okay. The arrow denotes the direction that I need to glue this in on. This goes way the hell up here. I see now. Because it does that. 10. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this unit is an AI-controlled unit. There's no crew. The Strahl company likes to use a lot of AI stuff. C37, 34, and 35. Yep. I'm guessing Ares is still out mowing the yard. That fell out again. We'll get it trapped in now, though. I can see why they molded these like this. You wouldn't have been able to get, like, this detail undercut. Wouldn't have been possible. Some of the other shapes it helps with. So there will be some putty work there. But I can also do the turret texture, the cast texture, like I did with the Hund. Maybe on this one I'll be able to do it on screen. On the other one I kind of didn't, because I really wanted to work off stream for a while. You know? One of those things where you put the music up to full volume without the headphones. Or at least reasonable volume with the wife and kid in the house. These are definitely going to get puttied and sanded. Whoopsie. For those days when you need 3 hands. What are you after, girl? Did you see a sky raisin? There shouldn't be any down here. Okay, there's all that. Now the ring. The notch there and the notch there. There we go. Come on, pop in. Why are you creeping? Why are you creeping? Did you guys see that? She slowly just crept forward into the camera. Yeah, it's been an hour and 10 minutes, so we're going to take a quick little snack break, I think. Allie's telling us it's snack break time. That'll let the glue on that set up for a second. That way I can apply putty. Ow. And while the putty's curing, we can work on the upper hull of the vehicle, because I don't want to snap too much off. We have Nutri-Grain Bites. Better than tater chips. And we can get our scritch on. Yeah. Did you get in a fight and get hurt? Or do you just have chin acne? Let me see. Let me see, girl. No, that's just your fur pattern. Okay. She's always starting shit with the other cats. Come on, you wanted to be in the limelight. There you go. Good girl. Hurry up. There you go. Oh, you almost fell over. What? Hmm? Oh yeah, that's snuggling down perfectly. Yep. Beep, beep, beep. Bonk. Lie down. No, no nibble. No nibble. Hey. What are you doing, Trouble? Hmm? What are you doing? Boop. Yes, I have the Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Get back. Get back. What? Can I please get back to work on the model for my audience? Hmm? Over here. Come on. Lie down. Good girl. Oh, she's a chewer. If I gave her a moment, she'd chew on it, that's for sure. So the parts are pretty flush to the surface already, but on some there's a slight misstep. So I'm just making sure that I can sand it down nice and evenly, feather it in. Tonight's stream might, or tonight, after tonight's stream, we might have another loud music night in the house, I think. It's Friday. I can't be up terribly late, but the wife works upstairs in a closed office anyway. I don't have to worry about keeping the son awake. So, yeah. That dries. Actually, I can give a quick demonstration on the cast texture. Won't do it on the hull. I can do it on top of the turret where I'm not going to sand yet. And even if I do sand, it's okay. You want to have a square brush. Square denotes shape of the tip. And I use Mr. Surfacer 500. I ordered this off Amazon. Cheaper than any place else around that has it. This is essentially a self-leveling primer, or a really thin putty. In order to fill in the gaps or the offset that I just did, I'd need a lot more of it. Shrinks quite a bit, so it's easier just to putty and sand. So we'll just take this area right here. So you just dip the tip of the brush in and just start doing this with it. Spread it around a bit, let it get a little thick as you do it. Stuff's lacquer based, so it starts to dry pretty quick, but you'll feel it start to stick. You want that. You want it to be sticky. You can move the brush too, that kind of helps make it a bit more random. So as you're doing this, the putty sticks to itself and basically strings up, and then you're kind of tapping it back down with the brush, and that creates a rough texture similar to what you'd find on a cast hull like a Sherman or an M60 or an M48. I don't know if it really stands out here. You can kind of see it. Oh, it almost stood out there for a second. And you can add a little more putty. Or not more putty. A little more of the Mr. Surfacer. And you can go back over and it can even add more depth because it will reactivate what's under it a little bit and make it even more sticky. And you just keep stippling it. If you get it a bit too rough for your liking, you can either lightly sand it with like 300 or 400 grit just to knock it down, or even just run a little bit of lacquer thinner over the top of it, and that'll make it lay down. But that is how. Let's see if it shows up here for this. You see how there's kind of a rough texture under the paint on this? That's how I got that look on the armor. And I just have a jar of Tamiya lacquer thinner here to clean the brushes. I know, Allie, it's stinky. You don't like it. Yeah, be sure you use this in a well-ventilated room, too. This is what I'll do off-stream in a closed room. Wait, no. Actually, I can go over here. Alright, so while we wait for the putty to dry, because there's a lot of more small, fragile pieces that are going to get glued on here, I don't want to go knocking them off or moving them around. So, that there. We'll skip ahead to the hull. Ta-da! I'm really not going to do anything cast on the hull. I could. Allie, really? Gonna have to wipe this down with a dryer sheet. This almost looks like it was cut and made from bent plate, with all these seams on it. If I remember right, that is a King Tiger engine deck. So we have some stuff to glue inside. C42, C33. Okay. A lot of C stuff going on here. Panther exhaust. Actually, that might be Panther engine deck and not King Tiger. Or they used both. I'm probably going to source some bridal veil. The original antenna was open. And that goes right here. So I might see if I have what I need to make that opening actually be mesh. Is there an option? Oh yeah. I think I have... Yeah, we're going to have some fun. Yeah. Sorry for being weird. Actually, no, I'm not sorry for being weird. Be weird, everybody. C33, where are you? Oh. That's alright. Compared to most people, I am a normie. Oh, what's that anime? The guy's playing the online game, and it turns out all of the friends that he's known online are people at his school. He didn't know until they actually had a real world meetup. E37. I think it's called Who Said There's Never a Girl Online? Or something like that. I know it's on YouTube for free right now. The whole series. It's funny as hell. Well, it took you long enough. You missed that one spot, so you don't get your $20. How did the house inspection go yesterday? Solway was asking about you too. Told me you're doing alright. You're getting moved. They're not very specific on where this needs to be glued in. Did you hire an inspector or no? From what I've seen, what's going on in that region with some of the housing and house prices and stuff, I'd definitely get a professional house inspector to go over it before your final close. Yeah. Is this supposed to come off so that can go in there? Yep. There we go. That's better. Now C21, C11. I just wish the interest rates would finally drop so people could afford to buy houses again. Because that's the one thing that's going to screw up our 3 to 5 year plan that we've got right now, is if the interest rate don't drop. Okay. And that goes there. Whoops. This will have an inspection hatch open. Might have somebody looking inside it. I don't know. C16, F13. So what are your plans for the weekend, Aries? We're going full on Halloween with the Schwarzer Hund. It's even got little black cats on the ear folds. And it's number 31. So that's E. Do I need E or F? F13. Now that Ellie got done, I can put my sprues back out. something a bit more rough sounding right now. Let me know if that's too loud. I didn't change the volume, but it sounds like it got a lot louder. We just made the exhaust. I want to see if I can get a good chunk of the construction done today. Fighting very hard to avoid the nap trap as well. And it's already 6 o'clock. If I can make it another 3.5 hours before I go to bed, then I'll be good. This is the Nutcracker from... It's also a Maschinen Krieger model. It's a... in the universe, it's an AI-controlled hover tank. Not terribly smart, not really heavily armed. But that was one of the odd things about a lot of the original Maschinen Krieger designs. The armament was actually very understated on all of them. It wasn't like, ooh, robot, big weapon, you know? It was, ooh, robot. Oh, is that a minigun? You know? Or big armored hover tank. Where's its laser? Oh, it's that little box on the turret. What? Which kind of gives it a bit more grounding. You know, makes a bit more sense. Because you would need the larger machine to support everything else, you know. At least back then you would. It's kind of that, well, kind of nothing. It's definitely the retro sci-fi based on the era it was made. Everything was a bit more solid state, less micro. Really nothing indicating what direction these go, but it looks like they go on like that. My guess is they rotate to direct it forward and backward and side to side. Makes more sense to have it like that. Well, why didn't you? Could have got a nice snap-together Gundam or something there. Something to wet your whistle until everything else gets there and you're moved in. You could have also found a display case for the F-15. You fix the C model and put that in it. Oh, that's right, you were work from home today. That's why you were asking me if I was off or not. You know, that made my day go longer, too, knowing that I was sitting at work while you're waiting for me to get home. Okay, I wanted harsher music, not ear rape. This is a bit much. See what this does differently. Different mix, different artist. More of a low murmur. Yeah, tomorrow you has raid. I work anyway. It doesn't matter. What is their color 305 denote? Gray. 36. Oh, gunship gray. Mixed with 30, which is flat. We're going to disregard that. We're going to paint this the way I want to paint it when it comes time for that. Very interesting. So this doesn't seal all the way up into the hull like you think it would. Is it supposed to? Nope. Alright. And we do this a different way. Really? There. I'm going to do 2 passes. One to get the initial blob of glue in the hole. The next to refresh it. This stuff evaporates relatively quickly. And I will need all the work time I can get. There we go. And then that happens. And for those who have subbed, if you're watching this VOD, thank you on the YouTube side. I do check in regularly to see what's going on with the count. Of course, that peg broke off. I really don't know if this is supposed to touch or not. Looks like it is. I'll just apply glue wherever it's touching, it'll do its thing. Wherever it's not, it won't. Not like you're really going to see much of the underside anyway. Not enough to tell if there's a huge gap around the edge anyway. Basically, I'm just going to use a chunk of acrylic rod that I've got, cut it, and then just make a invisible strut for it to sit on whatever display base I choose to make for it. I might make two. You know what? I'm just going to tape this down. I'm going to tape it and glue it anyway. When in doubt, in the center. My main thing is I just want the overall hull to be solid enough. Want to sit perfectly right there. That's fine. Don't ask me which way is forward on the turret right now. Wow, really? I want to say this way is forward because of the gun, but I'm not too certain. This is a test of the cast texture. This is just putty that I've got to sand off still. The G-sprue? Now, people looking at this today would probably go, that's a Gribbly from the Millennium Falcon. No, part of a transmission. From an older model kit. This is definitely one of the weirder Machining Krieger subjects. It's a bit more iconic because of what it is, but it's definitely weirder. Mainly because it's not as dynamic as, say, one of the fighting suits or something a bit more posable, you know. And it really does look like a mollusk, doesn't it? Like, if I didn't know better, actually I do know better, but like that, scaled up original to 1/20th, would probably be a 16 scale Sturmgeschütz 4 MG42 armor shield from the Bandai stud kit. There you go. I need to see about getting Alien Isolation on PC, at least, because I really do want to play it in 3D. Mason's got an Oculus he doesn't use very much anymore. So if I play my cards right, I'll have an Oculus I'll use a lot soon. It's not my fault he doesn't use it. Just the cool factor wore off, and with him, you know what that's like. If you want a preview of what it could be like, watch the Jacksepticeye video where he does it. And I think the actual, like, files to do it have been refined more, so the 3D works even better. Maybe I should get Ares a Machining Krieger kit for Christmas. He probably wouldn't like it. I just don't know what to get you, because every time I think of something, guess what? You've got it already. Or you say, no, you've got enough on your backlog, which is not wrong. My wish list is a mile long now, too, but gotta have goals, right? You're not wrong. Wish I wasn't so restricted by royalty-free music on here. To the cease for now. That's why I did so much off stream on the Schwarzer Hund. Is I needed some music. I needed my music. Yeah, I saw that. Jen and I were just talking about her the other day because she'd like been through a couple different kinds of cancer and other things. It's a shame. Because who was the other older actor or actress that passed away recently? Well, there was one that was kind of a surprise. I forget. Nowadays, it's like, oh, did you see Jack Black has another movie where he plays himself all the time? Isn't that great? Kind of getting bored with everything. I've never liked Jack Black. Even back in the day of like School of Rock, when he was really kind of making his breakout stuff then, always annoyed the ever-living shit out of me. I never liked him. Always had that itchy feeling up my spine whenever I saw him in something. Just like, no. The weird thing about machining Krieger kits is the models make absolutely no sense, but still make sense. Yes, that does sound exactly as moronic as you think I just made it sound like. So you have raid tomorrow. What are you going to do with the rest of your day? Watch, he's going to go to Hobby Lobby and get something. He's going to pick up one of the Flame Toys Transformer kits and have fun. Help clean the garage. They haven't lived there that long. How can it be that dirty already? That response. Or do you need to clear it out because you finally found that 7D Torino that you wanted? And you're going to start working on that. Hey Robert, how's it going? Just say no to what? You are just... You can do what now? Oh, smells like dinner's cooking. So we're probably going to call it a stream pretty soon. Because I'm getting hungry. You work in the orderly room? Okay. I'm gonna have to look up the original model. Mostly on metals and dealing with dumbass airmen. Oh, nice. Can I figure out what's wrong with my paycheck? No. Golly, Sergeant. Yep, dinner's ready. So I am going to stop stream here. We got a lot done though. Decals on the Hund are done and setting nicely. I'll probably go over all of them and give them one more coat of setting solution. We're going heavy with the Halloween theme on them. I just wish this was in scale with this. So, but I'm going to run upstairs and get my food. What the hell? Where's the top half? There it is. Okay. How dumbass are the airmen? Do they need a crusty old staff sergeant? No, anyway. I've got a lot of pent-up rage. I mean, a lot of commanding things that I need to say. But yeah, I'm gonna head out and have dinner. So hopefully we'll be on tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, probably around this time again. So y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, thanks for subbing if you did. And I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. If not,